Hey guys, how's everyone doing? We are back for another Pokemon Red solo run. This time we're going to go with the legendary Hitmonchan. But before we start, let's name our rival. One of my favorite games of all time is Final Fantasy VII, so this time we're going to name our rival Aerith. And for our Pokemon, there were a couple good choices I could have gone for, but I ended up choosing Hitmonlee. Because why wouldn't I pick Hitmonlee? This just makes perfect sense. So Hitmonchan starts with Agility and Comet Punch, while Hitmonlee has Double Kick and Meditate. Now before we move on to the first rival fight, let's talk about the glitch of this run. When Professor Oak prompts you to choose a starter Pokemon, instead of going for one of the 3 Pokeballs, if you try to leave the lab, Prof Oak will tell you not to go away yet. But if you keep on trying, eventually you'll come to a full stop. As the main character, Prof Oak and the middle Pokeball will disappear. You're also completely unable to move or press any buttons. The only way you can get out of this is by pressing pause. Once you do, a couple of weird letters pop up on the screen, and after you close the pause menu, everything goes back to normal. So yeah, this will be the glitch of this run. I'm gonna keep it simple this time. Anyway, we move on to the first fight, and since Hitmonlee has a higher base speed stat than Hitmonchan, it goes first and goes with Meditate, which increases its attack. I then go for a Comet Punch but only hit twice. Hitmonlee then goes for a Double Kick and almost takes me down, while I go for another Comet Punch. Again, it only hits twice, and Hitmonlee goes again for a Meditate, which gives me an opportunity to win. But unfortunately, Comet Punch only hits twice again, and I get hit with a Double Kick and I'm done. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is. Moving on, we get the Pokédex from Prof Oak and head to Viridian Forest, where of course we fight every trainer because, let's be honest, if I go to Brock's gym, I'm going to get destroyed. Comet Punch only has 15 uses, and it's not gonna be enough to take down Brock's team. So we get out of Viridian Forest at level 9 and try to go for the first trainer in Brock's gym. And while I'm able to beat its Diglett, I don't have enough HP to take down Sandshrew and I don't deal enough damage, so I end up losing. It's time to go back and train. Like I mentioned earlier, since Comet Punch only has 15 uses, I end up leveling up to level 15. And while that's enough to take down the first trainer, it's still not enough to beat Brock. While I'm able to beat Geodude, I run out of uses for Comet Punch against Onix, so my only option is to use Agility until I can use Struggle. Unfortunately, when I was just about to run out of Agility, Onix goes for the last tackle and takes me down. Since I don't want to rely on luck to beat Brock, I go back and train a bit more. I trained all these levels using 2 times speed as well, otherwise it would have taken much longer. Anyway, once I level up to 17, I try to give it another shot. Unfortunately, that's still not enough, as I run out of uses for Comet Punch and I need to go through all my agilities again, which means that ultimately Onix takes me down. But there's something I can do to work myself over that problem. I go back to Viridian Forest and try to find a Kakuna or a Metapod. Since the only move they know is Harden, they can't damage me, so I go through pretty much all of my uses of agility, then I get out of the battle. I still want to keep a couple of uses because I want to increase my speed, and then I want a couple more spares in case Onix decides to go for Bite. And it seems like this was a pretty good idea. I take down Geodude with ease, then move on to Onix. And while I did get some good luck with criticals, I almost kill Onix with Comet Punch, but I run out of uses. Fortunately, its HP is low enough that I can take it down with Struggle. This really isn't a great start, but Hitmonchan does learn a few useful moves down the line. Well, since we've got our first badge with a level 17, there's no point in fighting every trainer between Pewter and Cerulean, so instead I only go for the mandatory ones. Although that's the case, we still get to Cerulean at level 20. First things first, let's try and go for Aerith. I made sure to pick up the TM for Mega Punch inside Mount Moon and teach it to Hitmonchan, and this proves to be very useful here. I go for 2 uses against Pidgeotto and fortunately I don't get hit with the Sand Attack. Abra is next, and I take the opportunity to set up the badge boost to increase my attack, which makes the rest of the fight really easy. A single Mega Punch is enough to take down Abra, Rattata, and Hitmonlee. Even though Brock gave me a lot of trouble, this fortunately wasn't the case here. We then go to Bill's house while fighting as few trainers as we can, but when we get back to Cerulean, we go for Misty's gym and battle her trainers, just to get a little bit more experience. Anyway, the fight against Misty starts and I go for Agility, setting up the badge boost just to get a little bit more attack, then go for a Mega Punch and almost take down Staryu in one hit. I then go for a Comet Punch, take it down and level up to 25, which means the badge boost is cancelled and I only have 29 HP to spare. Fortunately though, a Mega Punch is enough to take more than half of Starmie's HP, and it goes for tackle. And even though it crits, it doesn't kill me, I go for another Mega Punch and victory is mine. The second gym leader was nothing like the first one. It's now time to go to the SSN. While on board, I make sure to pick up the TM for Body Slam that I also teach to Hitmonchan because I want that chance at paralyzing. Let's go say hello to Aerith again. She sends Pidgeotto and I go for a Mega Punch. Unfortunately, I miss and get hit with a Gust. So instead I go for Body Slam, which has 100 accuracy. But while it hits, it doesn't kill, and I get hit with a Sand Attack. On the next turn, Pidgeotto hits me with a Quick Attack and I take it down with another Body Slam. When Raticate is sent, I decide to go for Agility to set up the badge boost, but unfortunately I get hit twice with Hyper Fang, so I go back to using Body Slam, which takes it down in one hit. While Kadabra also goes down in one hit, I level up, so now I go with no badge boost and at 27 HP to Hitmonlee. Fortunately, while I miss Body Slam twice, Hitmonlee only goes for Meditate. Since Hitmonchan is a fighting type Pokemon and Meditate is a psychic type move, Hitmonlee tries to go for the type weakness, which is good for me because thanks to that, I take down Hitmonlee without taking a single hit point of damage. And now that this is done and we've got HM cut, we can move on to Lieutenant Surge. So Surge sends Voltorb and I go for a Body Slam. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill, but then I go for Agility twice and back to Body Slam, which takes it down. Pikachu also goes down in one hit, but Raichu doesn't. Fortunately, it only goes for Growl, which lowers my attack a bit, but another Body Slam is enough to grant me victory. Things are looking up since Brock. I hope this can keep on being the case. Well, unfortunately, no. The first trainer inside of Rock Tunnel proves to be more trouble than I thought it would be. See, this trainer has a Cubone and a Slowpoke. While my main worry was Slowpoke because it knows Confusion, I go into the fight and set up the badge boost just in case. Unfortunately, Cubone goes for Growl. By the time I'm done with Cubone, my attack is lowered to the minimum. So of course, when I go fight Slowpoke, while I still manage to take about half of its HP and paralyze it, I get destroyed with Confusion. Let's try this again. On the very next try, I skip using Agility against Cubone and just go for the kill. Fortunately, I'm able to take down Slowpoke with only 2 Body Slams, which means I didn't need to set it up in the first place. Anyway, we move on, and something else happens in here. See, there's a trainer inside of Rock Tunnel that has 2 Geodudes and a Graveler. The main concern here is that they all know Self-Destruct, so because I don't know any move that is super effective against them, I try going for the Badger Boost. The first Geodude self-destructs and takes a little under half of my HP. Unfortunately, by the time I'm done setting it up, the second Geodude self-destructs as well and it's a crit and I die. Now, here's the problem. When I get into this cave, I don't normally deposit my Pokemon, because generally I can get out of here without too much trouble. But this time this proves to be bad, because Graveler also uses self-destruct, and while it takes down my Pidgey, I still have my Paras, so I just end up winning the fight. While I'm already 2 hours into the run, I'm not going to reset. And here's why. I like to keep the authenticity, so if I were to go back and reset, I would be doing things differently, because I knew what I was going to get into. So I just decide to move on. We end up reaching Lavender Tower, where we're going to fight Aerith again. Pidgeotto is out and I go for Mega Punch. Fortunately, while it doesn't take it down, it goes for Gust and I'm able to take it down with a Body Slam. I level up and then go for the badge boost against Growlithe. When that's done, I easily sweep through our team with Body Slam. Another rival fight, another win. Now we head to Celadon. I go by double team and teach it to Hitmonchan because I'd much rather dodge the attacks than have higher speed. Then I also pick up the TM for counter, which can be obtained on the NPC behind the counter on the next floor for free. This move gives back double the damage to the opponent if the opponent uses a physical type move. So I'm just going to keep it in reserve for now, because this move won't be any good if it's against a psychic type Pokemon. Next up, we head to the Game Corner's basement, where we're going to fight Giovanni. And like always, after setting up the badge boost, I easily take down his team. Even though I level up before Kangaskhan, it doesn't stop me from beating it with Body Slams. With this done, we now head to Erika's gym. And I got super lucky in this fight. As Erika sends Victory Bell, I go for Body Slam and Victory Bell answers back by going for Wrap, which is the best case scenario. Erika's Victreebel knows Razor Leaf, and if there's one thing I know about that move is that it crits a lot. So I'm pretty sure that if I got hit with that, either I would have died or I would be at very low HP. Fortunately, it doesn't go for it and I'm able to take it down pretty easily. Tangela is next and I go for a Fire Punch, and since it doesn't do much damage, I try going for Body Slam, but it does about the same, so I go for the Badge Boost. Once I'm done, I go for 2 more Fire Punches which shakes it down and I level up. I figured I'd go for the Badge Boost again against Vileplume, but it goes for Sleep Powder, so I switched back to Body Slam. It goes again for Sleep Powder, but fortunately it misses both times and I'm able to take it down easily, granting me the 4th badge. Considering everything, this is still going pretty well. When I was starting to feel confident about Hitmonchan's abilities, this fight stops me in my tracks. See, against Ghastly, only Fire Punch is able to deal damage, so I go for it and take a little bit under half its HP, and it goes for Confuse Ray. And this just spells my doom, because I hit myself in confusion 3 times and get hit with Nightshade, Lick and another Nightshade, so I'm unable to do anything and just die. I try again, and while I get confused, I'm able to shake it off at the right time and take down the first Ghastly. Now the problem is, this channeler has 2 Ghastlies, so I go for the second one at 29 HP. Fortunately though, I go for Fire Punch and it crits, so I'm very close to victory. Ghastly goes for Nightshade, and I don't know how I survive. I go for another Fire Punch which shakes it down. This was a very close fight. Coincidentally enough, none of the other fights in here gave me any trouble whatsoever, so I'm easily able to save Mr. Fuji and get the Pokeflute. Next up on the list, we head to Fuchsia, where we go pick Surf and Strength, then head to Koga's gym. While fighting the mandatory trainers inside, we end up learning Ice Punch, which has a low chance to freeze the opponent. If that happens, it's pretty much a guaranteed win. When we reach Koga, something happens again. So here's what happened. I try setting up the Badge Boost against Coughing, but I get hit with Sludge and get poisoned. So I stop my Badge Boost at 3 uses and go for Body Slam, which lets me take down Coughing, Muck and the second Coughing. Unfortunately though, when I beat the second Coughing, I level up, which cancels the Badge Boost. So I try going for another double team against Wheezing, which puts me at +4 evasion. Unfortunately that's not enough, as it goes for self-destruct, hits me and takes me down. And again, I didn't deposit PG and Paras, so I win the fight. Yeah, for the second time. I really need to start dropping my Pokemon at the Pokemon Center when I know I'm going for a fight like this. Still, like I said earlier, there's no way I'm going to reset, because if I do, I'm going to do things differently. So let's keep on moving on. After getting the 5th badge, I decide to teach Strength to Hitmonchan, because while it has the same power as Mega Punch, it has 100 accuracy, which is much better than Mega Punch's 85. It's time to head to the Sylph building in Saffron. After defeating the mandatory trainers before the rival fight, there is a place where you can heal your Pokemon inside of the building. But before reaching that place, there is a Team Rocket member, and while I'm able to take down his Golbat and his Drowsy pretty easily, I was still confused by the Confuse Ray of Golbat. So I hurt myself in confusion in the first hit against Hypno, and it goes for confusion, which gets me down to 28 HP. I'm then able to go for Strength, but it doesn't kill and Hypno goes for Hypnosis. After that, it's just ridiculous. I get hit with Headbutt twice, then Disable twice, and I'm not able to wake up, and I get hit with another confusion and die. Well, that just happened. Let's make sure not to go there again. Since I respawn at the Poké Center, there's no need to go heal up my Pokemon again, so I go straight for the rival fight. Now, hear me out. I normally set up the Badge Boost against Pidgeot, but this time, since Hitmonchan is a fighting type Pokemon and Pidgeot is a flying type, if it goes for Wing Attack, it's going to do a lot of damage to me. So I decide I'm going for the kill right away. And I'm right to do so, as it takes me 3 hits to beat it, and it's still able to take me down to 47 HP. I set up the Badge Boost against Growlithe, and while I get hit once with Ember, I'm able to use Double Team 5 times before taking it down. I still want to keep 1 use in case I level up. I then take Growlithe down with 1 use of Strength, Execute with 2, and Alakazam with 1. Fortunately, I only level up after Alakazam. If it was before, I would have probably been dead. Once Hitmonlee is out, I go for another double team just in case, and it goes for meditate. So I go for strength twice and I'm able to easily take it down as well. Again, another rival fight, another win. It is now time for Giovanni. I set up my badge boost against Nidorino, and while it's able to hit me 3 times, I'm easily able to take it down using strength. For some reason, I go for Ice Punch against Kangaskhan, which obviously doesn't do much damage, and it goes for Tail Whip. So I go for the last double team that I had in reserve, then finish it off with strength. Unfortunately, I level up, so the badge boost is gone now. It's not a big deal though, as I go for Ice Punch twice against Rhyhorn, then easily take down Nidoqueen with strength and Ice Punch. Once I beat Giovanni, I usually use Dig to get out of the Sylph building. But of course, for the first time, I decide to deposit my Pokemon when I need them. Fortunately, there's a PC that you can use on the right, and I go there to retrieve my Pokemon and use Dig. Once we're out of there, we head to Cinnabar, and before you start thinking that I forgot about Sabrina, I didn't. There was just no way in hell I was going to Sabrina, fight against a full team of Psychic-type Pokemon, with a Fighting type, at my current level. Even though Hitmonchan's best stat is his special defense, I'm 100% sure I wouldn't have been able to tank a lot. So let's just go to Cinnabar, try to get a little bit more experience from Blaine, and then we can talk about it. So naturally, once we get to Cinnabar, we go get the secret key to open the gym, and then head straight to Blaine. We set up the badge boost against his Growlithe, then go for strength, which takes it down in one hit. Ponyta also goes down easily with a crit, and then I level up and learn Thunder Punch. Now here's the deal. Thunder Punch can paralyze, and even though it's a little bit like Body Slam, it does have less power, but it is electric type, which can help me against water and flying types. Anyway, moving on, Rapidash is sent, and I go for a last double team, then take it down with strength. Although Arcanine takes a little bit more effort, I'm still able to take it down easily with strength. Let's go try Sabrina now. The fight starts, and I go for strength, which takes down Kadabra in one hit. And that's a very good start. We get to Mr. Mime and start setting up the badge boost. After using double team 3 times, Mr. Mime goes for confusion, and you guessed it, it was a crit, and I'm dead. Great. Such a good start to finish like this. Let's try again. On the second try, I decide to do things differently. I take down Kadabra in one hit. Fortunately, strength crits on Mr. Mime and I take it down in one hit as well. And then, even though Venomoth hits me with a Psywave, it's not enough to take me down. I use strength, which beats it, then I move on to Alakazam. And while Alakazam outspeeds, it goes for Psywave, which actually doesn't deal any damage. I go for strength, and I don't kill. It goes for Psybeam, and there it is. The fight's over, again. This isn't looking good. I go try again, and Kadabra goes down in one hit like always, and once I move on to Mr. Mime, I use double team once. It goes for Barrier, which levels up its defense by 2 stages. That means I'm not able to take it down with strength anymore. To make matters worse, Sabrina goes for a Hyper Potion once its HP is low, but fortunately I end up landing a critical hit and I take it down. Once Venomoth is sent, I go for a second double team and I get hit with a Psybeam. Fortunately, it's not enough to kill Hitmonchan and I'm able to take it down with another strength. Now the problem is I leveled up, so goodbye badge boost. But it's a good thing that I actually keep my evasion, because I'm able to dodge all of Alakazam's moves and I take it down, granting me my hard-earned victory. Finally. Okay, you know what time it is. Let's go pick Giovanni. We get rid of the trainers that block our path and go straight for the man himself. So Giovanni starts with Rhyhorn, and I go for double team 3 times, then for Ice Punch. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill, and Rhyhorn lands a Tail Whip. So because of that, I use double team 3 more times. After taking Rhyhorn down with Ice Punch, I do the same with Dugtrio, then both Nidoqueen and Nidoking get defeated with Strength, and a couple of Ice Punches are enough to take down Rhydon. So, like pretty much every time, Giovanni is just too easy for my Pokemon. Let's see if Aerith is going to be as easy. Like last time, I want to go for the quick kill on Pidgeot, and although I can easily take it down with Thunder Punch, I still go to Rhyhorn with only 54 HP left, so that's a very bad start. Although that's the case, I successfully used double team 4 times before taking down Rhyhorn with Ice Punch. Growlithe and Execute easily go down with Strength, and then I level up. Of course, Hitmonchan couldn't have chosen a worse time to level up, as the next Pokemon is Alakazam. Since Alakazam outspeeds, it goes for Psychic and I'm done. Let's try this again. This time, I take down Pidgeot the exact same way, but on Rhyhorn I use double team all 6 times. Since I just leveled up before going to Alakazam, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to level up before going to it again. So the best I can do is boost my stats as much as I can. Rhyhorn goes down with an Ice Punch, Growlithe with Strength, Execute with Ice Punch, and Alakazam with a crit from Strength. Although I level up before going to Hitmonlee, I'm not too worried. Since my evasion is at maximum, I go for Strength, it goes for Mega Kick which misses, then another Strength is enough to take it down. So we can finally head to the Pokemon League. It's useless to say, but I skip every trainer in Victory Road and head straight to the Elite Four. And oh boy, this part was something. But first, let's talk about Lorelei. She starts with Dewgong, which knows Rest, and Rest being a Psychic type move, and since Hitmonchan is a Fighting type Pokemon, Dewgong only goes for Rest. So I can easily set up my badge boost and then defeat it using Thunder Punch and Strength. I easily take down Cloyster and Slowbro with Thunder Punch and Strength as well, and I go up to level 50. So I go for a double team against Jinx, and then take it down using Strength and Thunder Punch as well. Lorelei's last Pokemon, Lapras, is out, and it's as easy as the other 4. Only a couple of uses of Strength and Thunder Punch are enough to take it down. So first member of Elite Four, first victory. Let's move on to Agatha. Bruno. I forgot Bruno is a thing. So Bruno starts with Onix, and I'm easily able to set up the badge boost. That's because Onix either goes for Harden or for Rock Throw, which does nothing. So once I'm done, I take it down using Ice Punch. Hitmonchan goes down with Strength and Ice Punch, and I level up. Of course, that's not a big deal, as Hitmonlee goes down with 2 uses of Strength as well. Bruno's second Onix goes down with a crit from Ice Punch. Then, while I can't deal much damage to Machamp, once it gets to low HP, I hit with Ice Punch and freeze it, so that's a guaranteed win. 2 Elite Four members, 2 victories. So far so good. But like with every good story, there's a twist. Agatha. Now, I'm not going to get into much detail, or it would go on forever, but let it be known that I died in pretty much every possible way. I tried and tried and tried again and again. With or without the use of rare candies, the end result was always the same. I would die, every single time, either by hitting myself in confusion, or with Nightshade, or with Dream Eater, or even with Wing Attack by Golbat. The only Pokemon that didn't kill me was Arbok. This took so long that I had to increase to 2 times speed in order to make things faster. But after a very long time, I finally managed to get through. And the best part was that I didn't use any rare candy. Here's how it went. Every time I would get into the fight, Gengar would outspeed me. Now, here's the deal. If Gengar hits with Hypnosis, it's over. If it hits with Nightshade, I might be good. This time it goes for Nightshade and I'm able to use Double Team twice. By some sort of miracle, I managed to get Gengar to low HP twice, Agatha heals it twice and I'm able to take it down without getting hit even once. Which, by the amount of blackouts that I already have, you can guess this was a first. Then I move on to Golbat. Unfortunately, after the first use of Strength, Golbat goes for Confuse Ray. And of course, it hits. So I hit myself in confusion on the next turn, but fortunately I'm able to take down Golbat without getting hit anymore. Now, for the amount of times that I've done this, I knew that after beating 2 Pokemon I would level up. That's why it was so crucial to use Double Team twice against Gengar, so that my evasion was high enough that I could use the rest of Double Team without getting hit. Anyway, for the first time in a long time, I managed to set the rest of the badge boost without getting hit even once, then proceed to hit Haunter with Thunder Punch and Ice Punch. Once at low HP, I paralyze it and Agatha goes for Arbok. This of course doesn't mean much as it goes down with 2 uses of Strength. As soon as Haunter is sent back, I go for Thunder Punch and take it down. So now I'm facing our last Pokemon. And trust me when I tell you that after all of these tries, I wasn't expecting to win. At all. but fortunately I'm able to chip away at its health using Ice Punch and Thunder Punch, and I don't get hit even once. Even though Agatha heals it once, I'm finally able to take it down. And like I said earlier, the best part was that I didn't use any rare candy, which is actually my objective. I want to do this at the lowest possible level. So even if it took me 200 tries, if I knew it could be done, I would have done it. Anyway, it's now time for Lance. As soon as the fight starts, I go for a single double team, just to give me a little bit of evasion, and stats of course. Thanks to that, I managed to avoid an Hyper Beam, which is great. Unfortunately, on the next turn, I go for Thunder Punch and get hit with Hydro Pump. And of course it had to be a critical hit. I'm dead. Let's try this again. And this time I go directly for the kill. Although I get hit with a Dragon Rage and a Leer, I still manage to take it down with 93 HP remaining, which would be more than enough to take down the rest of his team. Well, fortunately enough, I level up right after, so I can fully set up my badge boost without any consequences. Since Dragonair knows agility, I am more than safe to do so. I then take down both of his Dragonairs using Strength and Thunder Punch. Aerodactyl easily goes down with 2 Ice Punches, and the same with Dragonite. And to top it all off, I level up on the last Pokemon, which sets me up perfectly for the next fight. After restoring Hitmonchan's HP and moves, it's finally time for the final battle. So Pidgeot is first, and I go for Thunder Punch. Unfortunately, it doesn't do much and it goes for Mirror Move, which does much more to me than it did for it. So I go for a double team, then go back to Thunder Punch. Thankfully, I'm able to take it down without being hit again. I move on to Alakazam, and of course it outspeeds. Fortunately, it goes for Reflect, so I go for Strength. On the second turn, although I only used double team once, I miraculously dodge a Psybeam, which lets me go for Strength again. On the third turn, it goes for Reflect again. I just couldn't believe my eyes. So I go for Strength and take it down, which is incredible. Still, there are 4 more to go. Rhydon is next, and I use double team 3 times and take it down with Ice Punch. Although I didn't intend to use double team 3 times, I get hit with Leer and Tail Whip, so I have to. After taking it down, we move on to Arcanine. And since we just leveled up, might as well go for the rest of the badge boost. Once I'm done, I use an Ice Punch, but seeing as it doesn't deal much damage, I go for Strength. Unfortunately, I get hit with Takedown, and since my defense was so low, I almost die, barely surviving with 2 HP. I take down Arcanine using Strength, and for some reason I'm able to take down Exeggutor with Strength as well without getting hit. So now we move on to Aerith's last Pokemon, Hitmonlee. With 2 HP, one single move is enough to take me down. I go for Strength, and thankfully it goes for High Jump Kick, which misses, and another Strength is able to take it down. I can't believe this battle went the way it went on the very first try. Compared to Agatha, this was child's play. Still, we just made Hitmonchan a champion, so let's analyze how well it did. So we finished the game with Hitmonchan at level 55, with a real time of 6 hours and 4 minutes, and an in-game time of 4 hours and 55 minutes, and with a total death counter of 70. If it wasn't for Agatha, I could have done much better. Let's check on what Oak has to say. Punching your way through, I see. And it's true. It took a little bit of perseverance to get through this. Agatha got me good. Of course, I'm aware that I could have won this battle if I trained a little bit before coming here. But wanting to get to the end of the game at the lowest possible level just makes me want to push through. And in fact, it pays off because I'm able to do it. Anyway, it's now time for the question of the day. Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee? And why? As you could have guessed before, I didn't choose Hitmonlee for our rival starter for nothing. Although it did make the rival fight much easier, I couldn't pass up on the opportunity to get these two guys paired up. Anyway, if you liked the video, be sure to press that thumbs up and click that subscribe button as it helps the channel. And this was Hitmonchan's run. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all on the next Pokemon run. Bye.